Hi, everyone. Welcome to Unscripted Coding, where we're going to build out an entire project in front of your eyes, mistakes and all. Today, our theme is obviously GameStop Corporation. If you've been living under a rock or in a coma for the past week, that's about the only way I can imagine that you wouldn't know about GameStop. They have had an absolutely meteoric rise in share prices. They have gone from about $15 to $20 a month ago to $350 as of today. I don't know what the future has in store for this brick and mortar video game retailer, but needless to say, in this past month, a lot of people have made a lot of money out of it. And what makes this story really entertaining is that there are genuinely some people, some hedge funds, some wealthy investors in Wall Street truly pissed off because they bet against GameStop and lost a crap ton of money. I am no economist. You can go on YouTube. I'm sure there's an economist, an analyst who will weigh in and try and explain as best they can why this is all happening. But most of the discussion is converging on WallStreetBets. WallStreetBets is a Reddit group that is 3.8 million users or so. They share investing tips, and evidently they have piled on hard on GameStop, causing the price to absolutely skyrocket. And if you invested in GameStop a month ago, you would have 10, 15, 20 times return for your money. That is a lot of money, and this person has made a lot of money. Now, WallStreetBets has a certain amount of optimism, let's say, zeal, if I'm being mean about it, but they are a very positive group. Everything rockets to the moon. All, share prices will just continually go up. That is their mindset. For me, I was thinking about what would be an interesting way to look at what's happening. And for me, I think all of this discussion about WallStreetBets, I am curious to see if we can measure optimism in the Reddit. So I poked around, and I don't want to scroll down because, again, there's a bit of zeal in WallStreetBets, but what I notice is they use emojis very heavily. This person, of course, has rockets because the share price is going to rocket to the moon. There's about 30 rockets here. They're very psyched about it. What I want to build is something that will measure the amount of rocket emojis, how many rocket emojis show up in one thread. See if there is a way to quickly, programmatically count all of that. I think that seems pretty simple, but what we're going to see is if that is a proxy for optimism or even share prices. Now, I do need to have this kind of downer disclaimer. Investing is great because they make huge changes in your life, but it could be both positive and negative. I don't have the secrets to investing, but it certainly is more than just looking at Reddit. You want to do actual research. You want to think about all of the unthinkable factors, whether that's an alien invasion or an earthquake. But we are doing this for fun. Optimism on WallStreetBets is one factor you may consider, and I don't even know if you want to consider it, but I just think it would be a really interesting project to see if we can quickly pull some stats that are meme worthy. So, with that said, we look at the Reddit API. They have an extensive API that will allow you to do just about anything that you can do with a Reddit account on a computer programmatically. So if you think about those hackers on TV, black screen, white text, just typing things into the command line, Reddit will let you do that and subscribe to subreddits, send out private messages, comments, likes, all of those things. And so they have a great set of API. I know about it. I've never used it. I'm going to stop talking now because I am going to start building a project. I'll chime in periodically to talk about my progress, but for now, I think I want to just jump straight in and start building something. Okay, so progress report. I am actually running this and it is taking a long time. Now, this makes perfect sense because as we're going through and breaking out all the comments. If you've ever used Reddit, anything more than 1 or 2 stages just takes a long time, and lots of apps actually don't do it properly. They don't actually break it all out. I think it's just somehow how Reddit works. It's difficult for them to expand it all, and I'm telling them I want every comment and I want to count the rockets. I am still on that very first thread, which has 56,000 comments, to be fair. So it's going to take a while. I thought I was going to put this on Azure on the cloud and run it every 15 minutes so I get fresh stats every 15 minutes. That is not going to work. I've been running this for 10 minutes now, so it hasn't even gone through the very first submission or thread. So I'm going to have to scale that back to an hour or two, but I think what I'm going to do is just not break out all of the comments just yet as a proof of concept, just to count it through. And then the next steps are we're going to need to push this onto Azure storage. So we're going to store the results on Azure storage. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to build an API, say we build an app or a web app afterwards. You connect to the API and it fetches the last result that I got. And so that's 10 minutes ago, an hour ago, whatever the time frame is. And you don't have to wait ages and ages for it to run. So yeah, I'm going to scale this back because I don't think this is helpful. And see where we go. Unfortunately, I lost about 10 minutes of footage. I ran out of batteries and it crashed, but that was fine because all I was doing was trying to debug, and I found out after quite a while that I had a backslash here. So a typo wasted a lot of time, but luckily it wasted my time and not yours. So we've really done two things. What we've done is we did an analyzer on a timer. Right now, it's running every 30 minutes. What it does is it goes on Reddit. It goes through each of the submissions and basically counts how many rockets are on the top 10 threads on WallStreetBets. Again, that is our optimism rating. We have a problem because if I remove the limits, it will go on for quite some time. I think I will remove the limits, but just not during this demonstration. We write this into an Azure table. This is a table in the cloud, and we can see past results here. Let's just screen up here, and then you can see the number of rockets. And of course, it explodes once we have increased the time, increased the amount of comments, and so on. Duh, quite obvious. We put it up on the internet, and we have a separate function. This is my API. It's very simple. We use Fast API. We've done it before on this channel, so I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail, but all I've done is go and read that table and present it into a JSON format. And so, if we go on the site, we have a list of the top 10 comments, top 10 most recent comments, and the number of rockets in each of them. So what I'm going to do is create a really super simple one-page web app afterwards that will show you guys how you might ingest this API and make it look pretty. So I will stop talking and move into that. I'm going to turn off my camera as well just to save some batteries. And we are done. Can you believe it? I think this was actually pretty fast, but we have a complete set of infrastructure here. We have built out a serverless cloud function that will run every half hour to prowl through Reddit and analyze the top 10 hottest threads in WallStreetBets. It counts up the rockets, and then it puts it into our cloud storage, also on Azure, and we also have the API. The API is actually the toughest part, but we've done that before in another video. Now that we've pieced that all together, the API basically allows us to build apps anywhere and everywhere. I just did a really quick 10-minute website. If I was any good, it could have been faster. Honestly, this is not the best looking website, I can admit that, but I gotta say, it looks pretty darn good. And with the API, you can actually start building applications on desktop, on your phones, on mobile, on whatever tablets you want, because the API is agnostic. You can start building it with Flutter, with Python, with JavaScript, whatever will ingest it just fine. And I don't know. I think this is actually pretty cool. Just looking down the rocket count, GME, GameStop stocks are obviously still massively in the runnings. I think there's been quite a bit of drama while we were working on this, because apparently WallStreetBets went down and up again. So we're not so focused on the stocks, but I think on any normal day, we're going to have people talk about different stocks that they might be looking at. Say, I don't know, Apple or Google. Those probably aren't, the most fun stocks out there, but you'll see them along the list. You get a rocket count, you get a sense of how excited, how optimistic they are. So all in all, I think this is pretty cool. I think the other piece is that we have all of that data over time. This is not accurate because we were running it every 2 minutes before, but once I start building a couple days, a couple weeks worth of data, I might even be able to do some charting of how many is the average rocket count? What are the trends? Are there more or less rockets over time? And of course, the other thing is we are changing the timing so that we run it every half hour, but we're also going through all the comments when this is done. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's pretty wicked. And who knows, maybe this will tip me off on the next next GameStop. So thanks for watching, guys. If you had fun, if you thought this was interesting, please leave me a comment below, thumbs up on the video, or subscribe. But if not, I am happy to take suggestions on what the next future video should look like. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you had fun.